Hello, Lonely. How you doing? Good morning. Good morning. Where are you from? Hello, Alex. Crazy person. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. You have a question. What's your question? Good morning, Gunner. How are you this morning? What What's the question? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What is your Get it out. Come on. We ain't got all day. We got stuff to do. We got stuff to do. We got money to make. We got move and shake thing. Where are you from? Indiana, the red state of corn, the Indy 500. Welcome. You said it already. No, you didn't. Are we blind? Read what? Sir, you gaslighting us. Stop gaslighting us. This ain't the time. It is Thursday, okay? Tomorrow, Friday, on the weekend, you can be wild and delusional. But the week ain't done yet. Wait till Saturday to be delusional. But you ain't said nothing yet. It is 6:49 a.m., Gunner. Sorry, I didn't see that. Um, yeah, wait till the weekend to be delusional. We we trying to make it through the day. Okay? Trying to gaslight us talking about I already said it. No, you're not about to make me crazy in the middle of the week. Uh-uh. Try somebody else. You're about to make me nuts. Oh, it's 3:49. Oh, it's 5:50. Oh, y'all up early. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's too early. Why you up so early? Thank you, Gunner. Yeah, why y'all up so early? Y'all got to go somewhere. I mean, where y'all going? Y'all going to work that early? Or y'all getting up for breakfast? No, you can't sleep? Damn, ain't no worse than you can't sleep. But you know why sometimes you can't sleep? There's two reasons why you can't sleep. First reason, you got too much on your mind. You got way too much on your mind. So before you go to sleep or before you try to sleep, write some of the stuff. Thank you, crazy person. Write some of the stuff that's in your mind. Write it down. If you write it down, you won't think about it, and then you'll be able to go to sleep. So whatever's on your mind, whatever's pressing you, whatever's stressing you, write it down so you can go to sleep. The second reason is you did not eat a good dinner, a good meal. You didn't eat something that would lay you out. Okay? Sometimes people need a heavy food. Sometimes something with some weight on it, or something with some with some poundage on it to lay you flatline you out on that bed. So you might need to eat something of substance so you can go to sleep. Those are main two reasons. Or you sick. You could be sick and not even know it. You could be really sick and not know it. So it's either one of those things. So evaluate your situation and look at three of those things, not just two, three, and see what it could be. Because you don't want the third one. You don't want to be sick. So, and also stress can make you sick too. Yeah, yeah. Get you a good meal. Get you a good meal. And if you don't know how to make it, if you don't know how to make yourself a good meal, you know you have free will as an adult person to go out and buy you a good meal. You deserve it. You work hard. You do all the things. You deserve to go get you a good meal out there, you know, so that you can sleep, have the best sleep of your life. You deserve it. Don't deny yourself the simple pleasures in life, like having a good meal. Sometimes you need to, you know, break away from your regular routine and go get you a real good meal. Have somebody serve you. You don't always have to serve yourself. That's what restaurants are for. Restaurants are for that little bit of luxury you want to sprinkle in your life every now and then when you don't feel like being the one that does everything. I don't always feel like doing everything either. Sometimes you got to delegate, you know, delegate things. Sometimes you got to hand things off to somebody else because, you know, the pressure, the stress can be too much. Now, I found that I sleep better with a fan. I gotta have a fan in my. I gotta have that air. I gotta have that cold air blowing in my face. And then, good bed sheets. Good bed sheets is another way to get you to go to sleep soundly. Good bed sheets. I brought me some bed sheets and a new comforter. I sleep like an angel. Oh, I sleep like an angel every night. Every night I sleep peacefully. And like everybody else, I got stuff on my mind. But I write it out. I give it to God. I write all my problems out. I give it to God and I let it go. And I'm not a churchy person. I'm not, you know, super religious person or anything like that, but that's what I do. I write it down, give it up, and then let it go. If I can change it, I can change it. If I can't change it, I can't change it. What is there to do? I know I need that fan on. I need it blowing. And as I get older, it's like, God, I hate to be hot. But that's what I do. I try not to worry about stuff. It's out of my hands. Especially when you make mistakes. When you make mistakes or you do something you weren't supposed to do or whatever, you know, you have to just let it go. I can't worry about everything. I can't worry about everybody either. A lot of us, we be taking care of other people's problems and we be wearing other people's problems on our back. You know, like it's our problem. You know, carrying the weight of others can be highly stressful. And sometimes you gotta let that stuff go too. You gotta say, look. I can't do this. I can't carry the weight of other people. And sometimes we carry the weight of other people without really being directly involved. We just let their issues weigh on us. And we not even, you know, a part of it really. Which is crazy. So put this earring in. Oh, yes. I gotta go to the office today. Oh, go into the office and try not to fall asleep. Every time I go in the office, because I work from home most of the time, but every time I go in there, something about it just makes me tired. And I don't know, it's because I don't talk to nobody at work. I have nobody to talk to, not one person. I don't talk to anybody. There's nobody to talk to at all. And that's because sometimes when you go in there, there's hardly anybody in there. And and people quit all the time. So you can't really get to know anybody like it used to be. Back in the day, you used to be able to make, you know, some good friends at the job because you would see them year after year after year. But because people quit their jobs so often by the slightest infraction, okay, they quit. So there's no chance to develop any type of relationship with any of your coworkers because it's always new people. It's always new people because people are quitting. And I'm gonna say it's probably just younger people quitting a lot because they don't like to be inconvenienced. You know, why are you calling me after 5? You call them after 5 is a problem. That earring is too big. I need to find another earring. So they don't like to be inconvenienced. So where did it go? No, they don't like to be inconvenienced. So I don't have nobody to chat with at work. So it's just like going in. It's like working in a big building all by yourself. Now, let me do something here. Now, I hope everybody has entered into my contest. The rules for the contest is in my bio on the YouTube channel. So if you go to my channel, you go to the post, the latest post, you will see the contest. You will see, oh crap. You will see the contest. Now, I know I'm wearing black, and it's 90 degrees outside, but as far as office clothes, these are the only colors I got. I only got black to wear to the office. I don't have no other colors. I don't have no... I don't have no... What happened right there? I don't have no other color. So it's just black it is. Blackity black. But I do have some new stuff coming in. So can't wait for that. We'll see. I think, well, the stuff I have coming in, is colorful. Very colorful. Sometimes when you've been doing routine type looks and stuff like that, sometimes you need to change it up. You need to, especially if you feel stuck in life, if you feel like you're just stuck in a certain place in life, sometimes you gotta throw out a wild card and go do something different. Different job, totally different from what you're doing. Different place to live, different environment, different clothes. Change up the way you eat. Change up the people you hang around. Okay? Sometimes you gotta change it up. You gotta do something new. I seen a video. I seen a video of a young man on TikTok, because I be on TikTok. And I seen a video of him, and he was so stressed out. He said he's so tired. He said, I was told to go to school, get a good job. He said, I'm an engineer. He said, all I do is work, work, work. He said, I work, 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 work. And he said he doesn't get to see his friends because he's working so many hours and stuff like that. And he said he wanted to try to work from home. Am I okay? What are you talking about? What's wrong with me? He said, oh, he said, I told them, welcome back, crazy person. He told his HR that he wanted to work from home because 90% of the people he worked with, they all work from home. And they told him he was a good worker. But then they turned around, and when he asked them to work from home, the HR, they told him he wasn't that good of a worker. So how you get, yeah, I'm okay. And then he said, how can you deny me working from home? When you said I was a good worker, you promoted me. How you promote somebody, telling them they're a good worker, they're doing great, but then tell them they can't work from home because they're not doing great? It was crazy. And so he was just down and stressed out about life, working all them hours and all that. When it gets to that point where you so stressed out about your job, your life, and all that kind of stuff, you have to change it up. You have to either go get another job, a different kind of job, maybe in a totally different area. Just because you're an engineer doesn't mean you can't do something that's related to engineering but not really solely concentrate on it. You could go do something else. Ask ChatGPT. Go do something else. Go do something else that can be helpful to people. That can soothe your soul. Okay, maybe it's something else. Maybe you got a calling for something else. To go do something else. You shouldn't work yourself to death. You shouldn't work yourself to death. As you get older, when you start to reach the point of you don't really want to work, that's when you try to scale back on the kind of work you do. When you're young, you can do hard work, and you can work at a warehouse, and you can do all this crazy stuff. But as you get older, you need to slide back and slowly put your body into retirement a little bit and do less stressful work. You're not built to do stressful work from 20s all the way to 60. Hello, Ali, how you doing? You're not meant to do stressful work from 20 years old all the way to 60. So in between time, when you reach about 30 or so, it's time to scale down and do less stressful work. Do work that is easy. Does that mean you can have a decrease in income? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe your life is meant to be two part-time jobs. Two part-time jobs to make up for a full-time job. Maybe in the daytime you work at a little office for 4 hours or 4 or something. And then maybe for 4 hours you work at GameStop. Okay? Maybe you wash cars in the evening. I don't know. Do something easy and slide yourself into an easy life. Okay? You may during the day work in office, or you lead a construction project in the daytime, and at nighttime you're a security, or you arrange flowers, or you do something that's not so taxing on the mind and the body. Okay? You don't have to work a full 8 hours at one job. Split it up. Split it up and do something different. You know, because these places can be very stressful, and they can stress you out if you let them. If you let them stress you out. But I'm old, so I don't let stuff get to me. But now that I'm at an age where I want to take a step back, I'm definitely going to do stuff that's less taxing on my mind and body. So within the next year or so, I'm going to ease off into easier things to do. And fun things. Maybe you want to work at some fun, an amusement park during the summer. Okay? Maybe you're an accountant during the year, and you work at Disneyland, or you work at an amusement park, or you work at the circus, or you work at something fun, you know, working with animals or something. Maybe you love animals and you want to work with animals during the summer and be an accountant during the year. You mean, switch it up. Do something different. Do something, out the ordinary. We do so much routine stuff because of our parents. They tell you, you gotta get a job, you gotta go to college, you gotta A, B, C, D, E. Hello, whoa, how you doing? Good morning. Your parents tell you you gotta do all this stuff, bam, 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 bam. But they never insert fun into there. They never tell you, okay, so when is the part where I'm supposed to have some fun? Where that fit into all this college and going to school, going to work? You talking about having a family? I gotta have a couple kids, a house, a car, and pay these bills. But where does the fun come in at? Where part of this situation where the fun? They never tell you that. You know why? Because they don't have no fun. All they do, your parents, your grandparents, all they did was work. They work and they took care of family. They have no concept of fun. That's why they frown upon video games and all this. They have no concept of imagination. There's no imagination there. It's just work. It's just work. They don't know what you're talking about. Imagination. Imagine what? Imagine you had a job, boy, girl. Imagine you had a job. I can imagine you had a job. I can imagine you being on that stage, graduating. That's what I can imagine. That's all they say. They ain't got no imagination. They ain't got none of that. So if you want to break free from what your parents, used to tell you and all this kind of stuff, you want to break free from that, you got to just start doing stuff out the wild. You got to start doing stuff different. You may even have to live off the grid if you want to. Everybody else, you've been living in the hood your whole life. You've been living in a bad neighborhood. You may have to say, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. Tired of looking at her, looking at him. Tired of all of this. And go live out in a cabin in the woods. Sometimes you got to do something, like the man. And I know y'all seen the man who he's sitting in his car and he said, this is my last day of work. He said, I'm tired of working, tired of this stressful life. And I think he got diagnosed with some type of sickness. I think. Don't quote me on that. And then he decided to get on a sailboat and sail across the ocean. Done with work. He said, I'm done with this working stuff. I'm going to just, if I'm going to die, let me die in the water, in the sea. And so he's on a sailboat. He went on a sailboat and sailed himself away from this madness. Sometimes you got to do something out the box. Line dance, went to lake haiku. I mean, they had that stuff. That's routine stuff. That's family stuff. That's not, I don't know. They did some of those things. Not all those things. My grandpa believed in work. Okay? He had barbecues with the family. That's about it. He believed in work. He did not, he was not the type of person that really believed in a lot of vacation. When I took a vacation day, he about had a heart attack. And I was living with him and my grandma. And I was just sitting there and he said, ain't you supposed to be at work? I said, I took some days off. He said, some days off? Why? Why you taking days off? I said, it's called vacation time. He's like, what? Vacation time? Yeah, so we didn't have that kind of fun. They didn't do all that. All they did barbecues and stuff like that. But they didn't do all that. They're not doing all that. So my life was just barbecues, go to work. That's it. Not a lot of fun time. There ain't no fun time. Grandpa wants you out there raking leaves, doing the work, going to your job. That's what they cared about. Not everybody had those things. But as you get older, you have free will. You can go do whatever you want to do. You can create the life that you didn't have. And a lot of people didn't have that kind of life. So now that you're an adult, you can do those things. And make your life easier, better than your parents, better than what they went through. But you brought up card games. We ain't never played no card games. Don't ask me to play no spades. I can't even tell you how to do it. Okay? We ain't do that. I don't know why, really. I don't know why we didn't play card games. My sister know how to play cards because she used to hang out with some, you know, some different kind of people, and she learned how to do all that stuff. She learned how to play what's it, tonk, spades, Uno, all that stuff. She learned how to play all that stuff because she hung out with certain people. But I didn't. I didn't do that. But yeah, as you get old, tall, bold. What the hell is that? Y'all bold. Y'all bold. A few times in my life we went bowling. Not very often. That wasn't a thing. We didn't go bowl. We didn't have regular routine things to do. The most thing we did was we did go on vacation. Now my grandpa, he took us, we went to Kings Island. We went to Disney World, but we didn't last long because it was too hot. So we didn't really get to enjoy anything. It was too hot. Where else did we go? We traveled. Now we traveled, but it was more like family reunions, stuff like that, not really to have fun. It was like, you know, those type of situations. Oh, they having a family reunion. Oh, we taking a road trip to Tennessee. We taking a road trip to Arkansas. You know, that kind of thing. Not fun stuff. Cause ain't no fun meeting people you ain't never seen before. They seen you, but you ain't never seen them. Oh yeah, I remember you. You about this big. You was about this big when I last seen you. Ma'am, I ain't never seen you. I ain't never seen you. Okay. Oh, you done grew so much. You know. And then you got family members you don't like at the party, at the barbecue. Good, yeah. There's nothing wrong with that either. My grandpa grew up poor. So his concentration was on just work. And even when he did go to these things, go on vacation, he still didn't have fun. You know, his whole life has been work. It's just been work. What I'm saying is, there's a lot of people who go through life and they're so concentrated on the work, they don't insert any type of enjoyment into their life until they get old. When they get old, when you can barely do anything, then all of a sudden, like the people who get old and decide, oh, now that I'm retired, let me go buy a Corvette. You can't enjoy it. You can barely enjoy it. Your youth is gone. Why would you wait to the end and buy something like that? Why would you wait? Why would you wait to enjoy your life? Right, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's very true. Yeah, he did a lot of sacrificing. Cause us girls, he had 4 granddaughters. He has 4. Well, he's gone now. He dead and gone. But he had 4 granddaughters, and we didn't want for nothing. He made sure everybody had their thing. Everybody had good Christmas. Everybody had good whatever. He was a very generous man. Did a lot for his family. So he did sacrifice. But I wish he wouldn't have. I wish he wouldn't have. I wish he would have took a little piece for himself and had, injected some fun for himself. Like had a hobby or something that something he was passionate about. That's what I wish he would have done for himself, but he never did. And as the grandkids of people like that, it's our job to live a little bit differently. Yeah, he didn't. He didn't. He was he grew up poor and he did not know his mother. He didn't know who his mother was. So basically he was kind of like adopted or whatever, some type of way. I don't know the full story. I still don't, because they all keep secrets. But he was kind of like adopted or whatever. And the highlight of his life was high school, and he was on the basketball team. He was on the first black basketball team in the country. He was on that team. And, that's something to be proud of. And, as he got older, everything is settled and good, and he made his money. He took care of his family. They invited him to one of those events where they honor, the first black basketball team people. And I said, they called you. Aren't you going to go? Nope. I'm not going. I said, why not? Why? You getting honored, for Christmas addicts. I'm not going. He said those people treated me bad in school and treated me horrible. I don't want to go. And he didn't go. He did not go. I said, damn, okay. Yeah. So he played basketball. He played basketball and he did love that, but at the end of the day, that faded away because of how he was treated. The way he was treated, he didn't care for it. He did not care for it. Like, damn, you ain't gonna go to the event? It's gonna be a night. Nope, I'm not going. All right, don't go. Had to tell people he's not coming. They were disappointed, but it is what it is. He wouldn't go. Yeah. My grandpa, because he didn't have anything growing up, he wore the same shoes and wore the same clothes to school and stuff like that. And, people used to treat him badly. And when he got older and he could afford nice things, he brought very nice clothes. He always smelled good. He always had the best cologne. He always smelled good. He drove a nice car. He had a Lincoln. He had a bad Lincoln. And because I called it Stinking Lincoln, he got Stinking Lincoln engraved on the, one of the panels by the on the suede part on the upper window by the door. And it had Stinking Lincoln on there. It was funny. He said, girls, he said, come on out. Let Grandpa show you what I did. Come outside, and we seen that little engraving of Stinking Lincoln. We just fell out laughing, and he took us for a ride and got ice cream and had a good time. But he had no loyalty to those people that treated him. I mean, of course, he didn't like none of them. Nobody in his past, he didn't care for none of them. So his concentration was on the girls. On the girls. That's it. His 4 granddaughters. That was his concentration. Right. And I wish everybody had that kind of experience, that kind of person that, you know, when we had issues as girls, our car break down or something, you know, all we gotta do is tell Grandpa. And Grandpa would say, bring the car up here. And he would have me drive up to the alley. And then he would take me back to the house, and whatever man he knew fix on the car. I ain't got nothing to worry about. I ain't have to pay anything. I ain't have to do nothing. All I had to do is pull the car up, man fix it, and go on about my business. That's it. That's how life was. It was just, you presented a problem. He came with the solution. The solution. It was no brainer. It's like, there's no argument when somebody got the solution already. There's nothing to argue about. There's nothing to fight over. Ain't nothing to say. But he got the solution. He was a problem solver. Like, oh, my auntie came to him and was like, oh, she had just got divorced. She got divorced, and she had to move in a place by herself, sell her house, the whole nine. And she didn't have money for her light bill. She started to cry to my grandpa, and my grandpa was like, shh, shh. How much is the bill? Paid. And that's it. That's it. There's no argument. There's no paid. And in return, we gave him the best barbecues. We cooked all the barbecues, my mother and all them. We made his Christmas, his holidays full of laughter and fun, and just those little things. Showing up for Grandpa. We had no problem doing that because he did a lot. So we show up for him. But that's what we did. But anyway, I'm off to the office. I got to go. But you guys have a great day. I gotta finish up my look. And then, why am I hot already? And then I gotta go. But thank you, Tyler, for coming by. Like, share, subscribe. I might come on here later, but don't quote me on that. Sometimes I say I'm gonna come on here in the evening. I'll be tired. I'm gonna be honest. I'll be tired. But I might. See y'all later. Bye.